Alright, starting off with our first Nissan 240SX, we have Ben Hobson's Formula Drift Pro Spec Drift car for the 2023 Formula Drift season, which this car is just super clean, and this is his debut for his livery for the 2023 season, but which just looks absolutely super clean. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this beautiful car. Now moving on to the front end, we have a white front bumper with pink accents all the way around the front end of this car, with the black front headlights on both sides of the front end there as well. And as we move on to the hood, we can see it is white with all his sponsors on the front, with the alternator through the hood as well, which this is just a super clean front end. Now moving on to the rims, we have a beautiful set of white 6-spoke rims with one yellow spoke. As we follow the side of this car all the way to the rear end, we have a matching set of those beautiful rims with the perfect amount of fitment in the rear, which is just a beautiful set of rims and absolutely super clean fitment. Now moving on to the rear end of this car, we have no rear bumper but an exposed rear bash bar, but the upper part of the rear bumper is still there, with the beautiful matching set of S15 taillights in the rear end, which is just super clean. And as we move on to the trunk, we have radiators, coolers, fuel pumps, oil pumps, catch cans, all different sorts of things in the rear, along with coilovers, as we can see there, and just a super clean rear end. Now moving on to the interior, we have the black Cobra Motorsports racing seats with the quick release steering wheel, black handbrake, white shift knob with the silver shift handle, the steering wheel up there with the black roll cage, and the matching Cobra Motorsports seat, but different because it's the passenger seat. And now just look at that interior and just look at this car. This car is just super clean. Now moving on to our next 240 that we have here at LS Fest. This is Odie Drift's demo car. As you know, Falcon Motorsports sadly departed ways with FD this season, and this car used to be rocking a super killer Falcon livery, but he had to take it off because he's no longer sponsored by him. But other than that, this car is still super clean, so let's get into it. Starting off with the front bumper, we have a black front bumper with the orange lip all the way around it, because if you've seen his pro car now, it now has orange accents, along with the super clean 240 front tail headlights with the carbon fiber hood, and along with that, it's just a super clean front end. Now moving on to the rims, we have these beautiful silver multi-spoke rims by Kanzai, and as we follow this all along the side to the rear, we can see we have a matching set of these super clean rims by Kanzai with the cutout in the fender so he could go lower, which is just super clean. Now moving on to the rear end, we have no rear bumper once again, and a radium fuel cell that is like on the floor. Literally, look at how low that thing's sitting. That is crazy. Toe strap there, along with the 180 style rear taillights in the back, but have the 240 center badge in the back with the orange ducktail on the rear and the paint matched trunk with the hood pins, because it is a quick release trunk, which is just an absolutely super clean rear end. Now moving on to the interior, we have more Cobra Motorsports racing seats with the Jakarta green straps, quick release, silver handbrake, orange golf ball shift knob, the steering wheel there, and a matching set of the Cobra Motorsports seats with the black dashboard, silver roll cage, and through the sunroof you can see more of that roll cage there with a NOS bottle in the back as well, which is just super clean, and this is just an absolutely beautiful car. Now moving on to our next 240, we have this super clean orange Nissan 240SX, and this guy is a Utah local as well, so it is great to see a local car club out here at LS Fest, and just an absolutely beautiful 240. So let's go ahead and get into it. Starting off with the front end, we have a orange front bumper all the way around the front end there, as you can see, with the sleepy eye pop-up headlights with the bright LEDs instead of the stock headlights, with the orange hood, with the quick release pins, hood scoops there, and holes in the hood as well, which is just super clean and just a beautiful front end. Now moving on to the wheels, we have these white multi-spoke wheels with the silver lug nuts, and as we follow this beautiful livery all the way to the back, we have a matching set of these beautiful rims as well, which are just super clean and just absolutely beautiful rims. Now moving on to the rear end, we have orange BN Sports kit, I want to say, all the way around the rear end, with the super clean 180SX taillights on the trunk, with the 326 inspired wing in the back with the lip, but it is not a 326 style wing, it is a Big Country Labs wing as well, with more radiators, oil coolers, power steering fluid in the back as well. Just a super clean rear end. And now as we move on to the interior, we have a Sparco racing seat with Energy Innovations green straps, green steering wheel, green roll cage, and very many other green accents throughout this car, with a fire extinguisher in the center console, a orange stick with a scooter grip on it, and a Hurst shift knob for the shifter, which this car is just an absolutely super clean drift car.
Hey guys, it's Fred and Fred from 540 Autosports. We want to thank you for coming by the channel and checking everything out.
If you guys like what you see, please remember to like and subscribe to our channel. If you subscribe to our channel, it really helps us out a lot to bring you more awesome content like the video you're about to watch right now. So hit that subscribe button, turn post all notifications on, and like the video.
Thanks, man. We'll see you soon.
Now moving on to our next 240, we have this absolutely insane livery all around this 240SX, which this guy is an Idaho native as well, which is just super clean yet again to see natives in my home state out here at LS Fest. Just super crazy, just an absolutely beautiful 240. So let's get into it. Starting off with the front bumper, we have a black front splitter all the way around the front bumper, as you can see, with the front bumper consisting of many different colors, including light blue, dark lime green, dark purple, and pink, with the cutout front pop-ups there, as you can see. And as we move on to the hood, we can see that big old fat V8 LS sticking through, with the multiple color selection on the hood as well, which is just a super clean front end. Now moving on to the rims, we have these green 5-spoke rims with Nissan brakes, and as we follow this car all the side all the way down to the rear set of rims, we can see we have a matching set of these absolutely beautiful rims, and just a absolutely clean set of rims. Now moving on to the rear end, we have the same color scheme on the rear bumper, just more color variety, with the super clean 180SX style rear tails. And as we move on to the trunk of this car, there is literally nothing. There's a fuel safe, roll cage, there is no floor. You cannot put your groceries in this car. I'm just telling you, they will fall out. With the perfectly, absolutely super clean livery ducktail on the hatch as well, which I forgot to mention, this guy just won ProSpec Atlanta. Congrats to him. And now as we move on to the interior, we have Energy Prisma racing seat, Energy Prisma pink racing straps, a green floorboard raiser, a green dash with multiple colors on it, black handbrake, cooler spot, which is a necessity in this car. We have a fire extinguisher, black roll cage, and just an absolutely super clean interior that is paint matched with the rest of the livery of this car. Just super clean. Now moving on to our next 240. This one is a 95 with the kooky front end, and as we go around this car, just look at how clean this thing is. It's super clean livery, and just look at the engine bay as well. But let's get into it. Starting off with the front end, we have a purple and light blue front bumper all the way around there, with the super clean, kooky front headlights on both sides of the front end there. And as we move on to the engine bay, we have a big fat Edelbrock supercharger on top of the LS V8 with the silver engine bay. And look at that hood. Look at that cutout. That's a massive hole. That just proves how big that supercharger is. But that is just a super clean front end. Now moving on to the rims, we have these beautiful blue 6-spoke rims. And as we follow the side of this car all the way to the end, we have a matching set of this absolutely beautiful rims. And just a super clean set of rims. Now moving on to the rear end of this car, we have the purple rear bumper all the way around the rear end of this car with the super clean rear tail lights on both sides there as well, with the quick release trunk with holes in it so smoke can dissipate from the trunk more easier. Heat shield on the rear with the rear firewall being filtered in the same heat shield. Radiators in the back as well, and this is just a super clean front end. Now moving on to the interior, we have OMP racing seats with black racing straps, green quick release hub with the silver handbrake, black shift knob, a fire safety thing right there, gray roll cage, and a sparkle racing seat for the passengers as well, which is just super clean. Big old fire extinguisher in the back as well. Just an absolutely beautiful interior and just a super clean Nissan 240. Now moving on to one of my favorite 240s of this event. Yes, this is the most beautiful 240 at this event that was not actually a drift car. It just looks super clean. And without further, you're going to see why in a bit. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this super clean 240. Now moving on to the front end, we have a blue front bumper that's paint matched to the rest of the car, with the sleepy eye pop-ups as well, and with the quick releases on the hood and the LS through the hood as well, with that beautiful paint matched front hood, which this front end is just super clean. Now moving on to the rims, we have these silver and white 3-piece rims, as we can see, and as we follow the side of this car all the way to the rear wheels, we have a matching set of these absolutely beautiful 3-piece wheels with immaculate fitment. Just an absolutely super clean set of rims. Now moving on to the rear end, we have a blue rear bumper all the way around there, the rear end, with a big fat blast pipe and the 180SX style taillights on both sides, but it's missing the middle piece, and an LSX badge because this car has an LSX in it, which is absolutely insane. Blue paint matched rear wing and trunk, which is super clean. Just an absolutely beautiful Nissan 240. Alright guys, if you stuck around this video all the way to the end, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment what your favorite car of the video was, and make sure to stick around for more content.